You guys will have heard the news that Jeremy Clarkson has recently bought a farm, and we think we found the perfect vehicle for him. It's this, the JCB Fastrac, the fastest tractor in the world.
This isn't just any Fastrac, it's the Fastrac Two, a one-off brute that is purely built for straight line speed. After blasting past 100 miles an hour with the Fastrac One, JCB has taken this to a whole new level.
Good lad. Okay guy, that looked like a good run. You just park her by your yellow marks.
Now, most tractors have a top speed of 30, 40 miles an hour on the road. This thing does 153 miles an hour. A tractor that does over 150, that's absolutely insane. So how's it done it? Well, like most race cars, it's down to power, aero, and just damn good engineering. So let's take a look at what makes this thing so quick.
Being an engine guy, there's plenty to get excited about under the bonnet.
So let's check out the engine. It's a straight six diesel engine and it's twin chars, like I guess the Group B rally cars of the 80s. Here you've got an electric supercharger, and on the other side you have a massive turbocharger. So while you're waiting for that big turbocharger to spool up, you use the electric supercharger to get those engine revs going and get the power to the rear wheels. One of the coolest things for me is this charge cooler by Denso. That's the same company that helps out with the Toyota LMP1 car. Now the job of this thing is to take the really hot air from the turbo and the supercharger and cool it down before it enters the engine to maximize the efficiency of the combustion. Now air enters this thing at 250 degrees centigrade, and by the time it comes out the other side, it's only 30 degrees centigrade. So this thing gets rid of 220 degrees so that the air is nice and cool and that engine can breathe to its maximum potential.
For all of the 7.2 litres of displacement to breathe fully, some trickery was needed.
You can see at the front here, there's these 3D printed funnels essentially for the intake and for cooling. And then down here, you'll find what makes this charge cooler so effective. Underneath these panels here, there is a tank under there that they put ice into. 25 kilograms of ice is used to maximize the efficiency of the combustion, cooling down that hot air, which allows this engine to create 1,000 horsepower. The exact number is 1,016 horsepower. That is more than a Bugatti Veyron in a tractor. Absolutely insane.
Having 1,000 horsepower is one thing, but to make this thing reach 150 miles an hour, you need decent aero to make it less of a slab blasting through the air. The Fastrac 2 has a beefy front splitter, a pivotal piece of kit to reaching the vehicle's top speed.
Now when you're travelling at 150 miles an hour in something this size, you have to get the aero balance right, otherwise it'll be unstable. You can't have the tractor too low because with this aero, it actually creates ground effect and would suck the tractor into the tarmac and would restrict its top speed. But also you can't have it riding too high because then the frontal area will be too large and that will also create drag. So you have to get that balance just right. And with this tractor, they managed it. And as if this thing couldn't get crazier, it's got a rudimentary diffuser and a parachute. And look at the size of that differential. Massive.
Checking out the innards of a supercar is always a privilege, but there's something equally as satisfying about the chunky robustness of this thing. I had to get a look inside.
Inside here, there's some proper racing car stuff. We've got digital screens telling me exactly what's going on. We've got a proper bucket seat that Guy Martin will have had to squeeze himself into. And what have we got? We've got 3 pedals, a steering wheel and a gear shift. Pretty simple, I guess, but then you think about it, you're in a 1,000 horsepower tractor. It's got a full-on roll cage, and this thing is actually rear-wheel drive. They're just sending that power to the back. So maybe you get some wheel spin, maybe you get oversteer in a vehicle this size. Saying that, it does still weigh 5 tons. The standard Fastrac tractor from JCB weighs 8 tons, so they've managed to strip 3 tons off it, but still 5,000 kilograms of mass to shift about. So achieving 150 miles an hour in something that weighs that much is truly incredible. I've been told the 0 to 60 is around 9-10 seconds, so I guess this could outrun a simple hatchback or even a saloon car with, you know, a decent sized engine in it. A proper piece of kit.
The record accomplished by the tractor was a two-way average of 135 miles an hour and a peak speed of 153 miles an hour, with bike racer Guy Martin at the wheel. And here's 4 cars that this tractor is faster than. A Tesla Model 3 long range, a Nissan 300ZX, a Honda S2000, and a Mini JCW.
Now, I mentioned Guy Martin there, and we did manage to grab him for an interview, so let's find out what this thing is actually like to drive. Guy Martin, thank you for talking to us. Now, people may not think that you're a tractor man, but you're actually quite into them, aren't you?
I've got my own tractor, yeah. I've got my own tractor. Yeah, just a bit of a, what would you say? Failed farmer. Yeah, but yeah, I've got a tractor that does farm work. Yeah, I have a lad on it. I drive it a bit. Potatoes, general cultivation work now, and then, yeah, cool. March time, take your drilling work.
Now, this thing is next level, and you're used to driving on lightweight sports bikes, you know, up to 200 miles an hour. So what is it like driving something that weighs this much at 150 miles an hour?
Yeah, it took a fair bit of getting used to, mate, because, my tractor does about 53k an hour. What's that? About 40 mile an hour. Yeah. Someone's like, anyway, yeah, my tractor does that. It does that flat out, mate. Yeah, to get in a 100 mile an hour tractor, it took a bit of getting used to, but we did, I don't know, we must have done 50 odd runs in a 100 mile an hour tractor. When you first did it, mate, I was clean off in grim death. Just a 100 mile an hour tractor. But we just kept over and over and over again. We just got, you sort of got immune to the speed, and it was just easy at the end.
And is it stable?
Sort of. Yeah, to be honest, it's stable. Yeah, it's 5 ton, like 1,000 horsepower. But it's stable enough.
So my boss, Jeremy, has bought a farm himself. There's a series coming up.
Right. But what is it? Is he a proper farmer?
Clarkson, of course. He's going to.
How many acres?
God knows, a lot.
Right.
He's
and
a
you
rich
reckon
man.
Potatoes?
That's all I've heard so far. But I mean,
does he do everything?
Check out his Instagram.
Is it subcontracted? What's he using? Grimmies? Self-propelled?
I have no idea.
Toe behind. He should know this.
I'm just saying, would Clarkson
Was he having a 3-ridge former? I don't know. He should know all of these.
If Clarkson's kicking about his fields, would this be perfect for it?
There's a time and a place for a fast track. Yeah, of course there is. Of course, general farm work. This is great. There's a certain job that it excels, a certain job that you can't do in farm work, but then that's why it's such a varied work. Can you plough
at 150 miles an hour?
You can't plough at 150 miles an hour, and I don't know how many furrows you'd pull, and it depends what land you work in. And I don't know, where's his land? Where is it?
Oxfordshire.
Right, okay. What's that going to be? Is that heavy land, Oxfordshire? No, it's pretty good, isn't it? Is it? Would you get away with pulling 10 furrows? He's not.
What's 10 furrows?
10 furrows? You know what 10 furrows is?
I've
deep with 10 furrows, mate. You need some horsepower for 10 furrows, mate, I'll tell you. You ask him, he should know how many. Yeah. Anyway, you'll learn all of this, mate. Right.
Jeremy, get yourself on the knees.
What a guy. A lesson for next time though, learn all about basic farming practices, especially ploughing. I got absolutely schooled there.
Now that's it, the world's first 150 mile an hour tractor. But we want you guys to decide, should Jeremy get himself one of these? I think he definitely should. Imagine this ploughing a field at probably 80 miles an hour. You plough fields in minutes in this thing. So Jeremy, it's up to you. Get yourself one of these.